Hello YouTube, this is Flexico and this is the tour of my TARDIS base, episode 1, take 2, because on take 1, Fraps did not recognize my microphone, so it was just a video of me looking around and not saying anything because it couldn't hear what I said. So, this is my workshop. I've got my industrial craft machines, smeltery, ME system, the standard stuff. Um, and I wanted to focus this first episode on my nuclear reactor because it's where most of my power comes from, and I'm really proud of the design I came up with. The reactor is not in here, it's in another room, but I've got some remote controls of it. This is the fuel meter. When the fuel is full, all these lights are lit up, and because it's almost empty, only the bottom one's lit. And I can turn the reactor off like this, and turn it on, light turns back on. And then these are warning lights if I'm out of uranium or if my combustion engines run out of gas. That just lets me know, even though that's unlikely to happen because I got portals, but everything is powered by bees. I got these refined bees that produce me oil and fuel to power these combustion engines. I've got 72 combustion engines. I forget the exact amount of power they produce, but it's quite a lot. It's too much power to feed down a golden kinesis pipe, so I need to use the diamond ones. And then that powers output directly into my TARDIS's roundel circuitry, where it is then fed into various other machines. Actually, at the moment, I'm producing so much more power than I really need for anything. I decided to install Draconic Evolution and just see if I could fill up one of these massive monsters. And now I've got 326 billion RF in it right now. It's going up pretty quickly. For some reason, the roundels are not able to output a whole lot of power very quickly, so I had to set up 8 of these around here to be able to get a decent amount of power out. And then this tesseract is coming from the nuclear reactor, so there's a lot more coming there. Yeah, but over through here, get past the bees that sting ya. For some reason, it doesn't seem to actually do damage to me. It does the damage animation, but it doesn't look like I'm losing any hearts. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, these bees in here produce the uranium that I use to run the reactors, and process in the centrifuge. I'm assuming you guys are mostly familiar with Minecraft mods like forestry and industrial craft, so I won't explain all the details of how these work, but I've got the impregnated frames, which are auto-crafted in another room and sent here through the roundels. Even got my ME system set up, so I've got these terminals in almost every room, so I don't have to keep going back to my workshop to do anything. And let's see, let's start over here. This was where I first started. I started with just one Mark 1 reactor. Now I've got 6 of them. These are mostly just to burn through the uranium so that I can get the plutonium to make the MOX fuel for the really powerful reactor. And then I got some radioisotope thermoelectric generators here, just in case I run out of uranium. They'll still keep the lights on, but I really don't think that's going to happen. Over here is the uranium refinery area, macerator, ore washing plant, thermal centrifuge, and some metal formers with some auto crafting going on with the logistics pipe stuff. Iron ingot makes iron plate. Oh look, just got some uranium coming through. Purified crushed uranium ore. Came from the bees. And then this canning machine, which is crafts enriched uranium nuclear fuel to a fuel rod uranium. And these over here craft that and the quad fuel rods. And then the MOX fuel and the MOX fuel rods. This thing crafts the tiny piles of uranium in tiny piles of plutonium into the plutonium blobs that I need. And it's all done automatically. The only thing that isn't done automatically is refueling this monster over here. This is a Mark V reactor. It's actually able to run continuously. Look at all these fuel rods. Up, they're almost up. Might wonder, how on earth can a Mark V reactor run continuously? That kind of contradicts the whole concept of what a Mark V is. Well, if you'll watch these coolant cells as they heat up. This one's getting close. There, it was pulled out and almost instantly replaced with a fresh one. And where do they go? They go into these over here, which are just full of nothing but cooling equipment, which cool them back down. So this is kind of the waiting room, this chest here, before they get put back into here as fresh ones again, into the hopper, and then into here to keep it nice and cool. It produces between 5,000 and 6,000 EU per tick continuously, and the core temperature varies because I've got the reactor heat exchanger here, which depending on the temperature of the coolant cells, the core temperature changes, so the power output goes up and down, but I think it averages around like 5,600 EU per tick or so, which compared to mods like the Big Reactors mod is not really that powerful, but I like this system better because it really makes you earn the massive amounts of power you get. You got to come up with these creative systems to take advantage of stuff like these coolant cells. I've never actually seen, I watch a lot of Let's Play videos of modded Minecraft. I've never actually seen somebody use these coolant cells in a reactor design, or use an ME system to pull them out and put them back in to keep a really powerful reactor cool. So this is an idea I came up with on my own. I originally intended to use logistics pipes to do it, but logistics pipes aren't actually able to detect the damage values of these coolant cells, so it couldn't detect the temperature, so it couldn't actually pull them specific ones out depending on whether they were hot or cool, but Applied Energistics can do it, so yay. Okay, also over here I've got this MFSU, which this ender pouch is linked to this ender chest, so anywhere I am, I can dump my armor in here, and then the pipes automatically... Did I miss it? Yeah, I missed it. Automatically gets pulled out to the MFSU and charged and put back. So no matter where I am in any dimension, I can recharge my armor without having to come back home, which is really convenient, especially in places like the Twilight Forest, where you might be in the middle of fighting a boss and have to recharge your armor. So that's really nice. And I've also got all these backpacks with all kinds of stuff in them. So just no matter where I am, I can have lots of stuff. Can't put backpacks inside backpacks, but you can put backpacks inside ender pouches or ender chests. And I also have the same ender chest set up in another room, which automatically refills my oxygen tanks, so I can be on the moon or on Mars, the Galacticraft dimensions, and I don't have to go home to refill my oxygen tanks. Cool. And the majority of the power produced by these reactors goes to my mass fabricator and laser drill, because those are the only Those are the only machines in my mod pack that can actually make use of that much power. Look how fast it's going. That is nuts. Look how much UU matter I have. Ooh. If you're not familiar with the new liquid UU matter system, each cell is basically 1,000 bits of UU matter, 1,000 millibuckets to make one bucket in the cell. So this is like 64,000 times 6 plus 18,000 bits of UU matter. Basically, I could probably make, I don't know, a mansion out of diamond blocks if I were to make this all into diamonds. Neat thing about liquid UU matter, you can actually place it on the ground as a liquid. Though, oh, it doesn't give you the cell back. Hang on. There we go. UU matter cell. So I'm making insane amounts of UU matter, and my laser drill is making me... Okay, it's not working right now because the... Oh, that's right. I've got the Tesseract hooked up to the Draconic Evolution big energy core over here, so that's where most of the power is going right now. In fact, since I'm trying to fill that up, I might as well just switch the mass fabricator off so that all the power gets sent over there. I've got this here. The power's all getting stuck over here into this Tesseract, which I also use to run quarries. And then it also pulls the items back from the quarries into the ender chest. Let's see what else. I've covered the reactor design. Got these, the coolant cells. I've got this set up to automatically craft the Mox fuel rods, so I can just pull those out of there. Use the hazmat suit, of course, refuel that. I'm thinking of trying to redesign this thing so it refuels automatically. Then I could just leave it go for a couple weeks on a server or something and completely fill that bugger up. Honestly, that's the only reason I installed the Draconic Evolution mod. I wanted to see if I could fill up one of those things. And the pink light means it's completely out of power now. So we've got these first. See, yeah, I got the first we switch the reactor off. Then we grab the fuel rods, 16 of them. Darn this frame rate while recording. Okay, here we go. And see the NOT gate is preventing the coolant cells from coming into the reactor when I pull these out. Put the fresh ones in. Well, there are 3 things that can switch the reactor off. There's the buttons out there, which will switch it off with redstone. There's this. This setup of a reactor will explode if it reaches 10,200 degrees. And hold on, let's see, where's my thermometer? I think it's in one of these. Digital thermometer. Now it's at 6,626. And then there it says melting 10,200. But if it reaches 8,500, this thermal monitor will activate and switch the reactor off. Also, if you can't really see it back there, but I've got some Buildcraft logic gates detecting if there's any empty space in the reactor. If there's any empty space, which usually only happens when one of these coolant cells is pulled out, then it will switch the reactor off just to wait until a new coolant cell is put in. Usually that happens in a fraction of a second, but sometimes a little longer. And this up here detects if there is depleted fuel rods in here, so it will let me know. It will switch the light off in my main room, my workshop. See, this button resets the timer, so now the fuel rod is full and the reactor switched off. And the ME system here is powered by this thermoelectric generator, which is producing more power than it needs, but this thing is just a good way to get infinite power, so this thing's always powered. I originally had the glass fiber cable just coming right down here to power it from the reactor, but then if the reactor was shut off for a while, this thing would run out of power and the ME system would shut down, which is not a good thing. Not a big deal if the reactor isn't running, but just to make sure nothing horrible happens. Even though I've got the reinforced stone and everything, you know, stuff can happen. And it's a pain to rebuild everything. And there's one more of these thermal monitors back behind here, which you can't see, but it's also got an autonomous activator with a wrench in it. If it reaches 9,500 degrees, which is a little close for comfort to the exploding temperature, it will activate the wrench and disassemble the reactor, and all the pieces will get sucked up into the vacuum hopper. Might have been wondering what the vacuum hopper was for. And then it all gets pulled into the ME system, which the storage is this chest right here. And look at all the coolant cells, because the reactor's not running now. So they're all cooling down. I think the total number of 60K coolant cells I had to make was 80, maybe 84, something around there, so that I could make sure that even if the reactor was full and all these things were full, there would be enough of them. And oh yeah, this is the timer mechanism. These are all hooked up to the fuel meter out here. Probably said that already. Since this is the second time I'm going through it, I might forget things I've said, things I haven't said. These are cyclers. That's weird. Why'd they all turn off? Oh, they're not getting any power. Oh, because this thing... It's weird. Mass fabricators turned off, but these should still be getting power down here. Yeah, these transformers up here regulate the amount of power coming into the mass fabricator, so it doesn't exceed the amount these recyclers can keep up with making scrap. They're not getting any power. Hold on, let me get my quantum suit back on. Oh, should take the radioactive stuff out of my inventory first. Smart man. And then there they go to be automatically processed and get the plutonium out of them. Thankfully the radiation is only hurting me a tiny bit. Oh, yeah, you might have noticed. I've got green heart canisters. How do you get those? Those are only a creative mode thing. Well, I used Mind Tweaker to add some recipes for them. Bunch of emeralds, some nether stars, miniature green heart, just red and yellow with some lime dye. Just came up with a recipe so you could make them, but didn't want it to be too cheap. Of course, the yellow heart canister and red, just seemed the proper kind of progression for it. So yeah, I got those. There, now it's getting power. Not as much, of course. I think it's just all getting sucked up over here. this is going up, and then when it gets high enough, the recyclers will turn back on. Yeah, there they go. And then any surplus scrap boxes that are not being used by the mass fabricator go into here, into my ME system, and they automatically get opened and get the treasure out of them, which is cool. You wouldn't believe how many wooden hose there are in my ME system. Several thousand. But I get diamonds out of it too, so yay. Did I cover everything? This is where the fuel rods are automatically crafted, put into here. Got logistics pipes keeping everything stocked up and extracting and crafting, and this ender chest allows me to connect the logistics pipes to logistics pipes elsewhere in my base. Got bees, got circuitry, got timers. I think that's it. This, oh yeah, reset the fuel meter, turn the reactor back on. There we go. Oh yeah. So yeah, everything is powered by bees. Got my massive reactor set up. I would be really pleased if somebody ended up actually adopting this and building it themselves. But I don't know if anyone would, because it's a lot of work, a lot of precise design, and everyone just wants to use big reactors anymore because it's easy to make tons and tons and tons of power. It shouldn't be that easy. It should really require a lot of work and creativity to make it take full advantage. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. If you want easy power, go ahead, use big reactors. I don't care. Anyway, if you enjoyed the if you enjoyed this design and think I did a good job, give the video a like. I don't actually make any money off my videos. I hardly ever make any, but you know, it'd be nice to see how many people really really got something out of this. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, these are moonworms from the Twilight Forest. Little alternatives to torches, keep things lit up. Everything's pretty. Got the sound muffler. Otherwise this thing gets really loud and obnoxious, the timer. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a good one, guys. Bye.